3 former presidents, 3 former first ladies, 2 Democrats and a Republican, joining with the new president, Joe Biden, at Arlington Cemetery. So clear, Cecilia Vega, so clear that the Biden team was intent on proving that the country could be unified in the wake of our divisions.
We'd started out, George, today talking about this being a theme. It's bigger than that. I don't really know how to convey how much bigger, because it's not just every drumbeat in his messaging. It's every optic that they have tried to put out from the first stop that he did yesterday at the memorial there at the reflecting pool. It was about extending this message to the country as a whole that we are one, and together we can get through this crisis that we are living through, this moment, horrific moment that we are in as a global community. And now we're seeing this hand in hand, former first families, friends, people that he has relationships with. And the people that I talk to who know Joe Biden well say this is how he will govern. This is not just optics for the day. This is what you're going to see going forward, that he can pick up the phone and call Mitch McConnell because he is a friend, because he has known him for so long. And I think given the division that we have lived with in our country in recent years, and a lot of people are saying it's time for that change, that this is a healthy thing that people have been craving and wanting to see.
But Rahm Emanuel, the only people you can call now who might understand what he's going through are the men we're looking at right now.
Yeah, there's no, I know we're all talking about unity, and I would just say the loneliest moment for a president of the United States is when you have to not only make the decision to send troops into harm's way, but then greet them at Dover with their families by yourself. And all you have to provide is both your heart and your hug. And so these are the individuals that understand that in that Oval Office, it comes down to one person. You make a decision, and you bear the consequences when you see that decision at both Dover and then at Arlington. And so while this is, yes, a picture of unity, of bipartisanship, et cetera, it is also about the lonely journey a president makes for the next 4 years, which is, if you look at every note of every president in the desk, and you going back to Reagan, it talks about the incredible opportunity and responsibility that comes here, but also the loneliness of that office. And this moment is going to capture some point, we don't know today, but over the next 4 years, that lonely journey a president makes alone.
One of the reasons it's so lonely, Chris Christie, so difficult a job, is Barack Obama often said, by the time the decisions reach the desk of the president, they're the closest of close calls.
Yeah, no, you see that all the time. When it gets to a president's desk, it means that a lot of really smart, experienced people either couldn't figure it out or felt like it was so monumentous a call that only the president could make it. And so, that's what makes the job both extraordinarily exhilarating and extraordinarily burdensome at the same time, because every decision that you make can be one of great consequence for the country. And the men who so far have taken that position, I think, completely understand that only once they get in that office and in that job.
George, President Kennedy once said, a president makes a decision between bad and worse. In this moment, we're going to celebrate the people that defended freedom and democracy, because when it comes there, it's bad or worse.
But when those decisions, George, get put on that person, that's when you really tell what kind of president they're going to be.
And that's what I have to press you on. I'm trying to be respectful here, but I want to press on this point. We've been through 4 years where decisions were not made in that way.
No, listen, we have been through a time in these last 4 years where, because of the president's personal behavior, he has diminished even the good decisions he's made, even the decisions that he made with the best of intentions for the country, and that turned out to be a good result for the country. What I said to him over and over again in 4 years is, your behavior obscures your accomplishments, and ultimately, if you continue, will diminish them. And I think that's part of what he's probably living with today as he flies back to Palm Beach, is the realization that that's one of the ways that history will judge him, when they're not looking at purely just the substance of those decisions.
Sarah Fagan.
Well, I'm watching this and thinking about what it was like for President Bush to leave office. He was not popular at the time he
Not at
departed.
all.
But because of his decency, because of the way he handled himself, he has improved his stature over time. There was at one point a campaign where billboards were popping up around the country that said, "Do you miss me yet?" And, we see his heart, the way that he engages on that podium with the other presidents. That means something to people, even in the darkest hours of Iraq, where people were very unhappy with the decisions he made. 10, 20 years later, they come back around. I don't know that President Trump is going to have that experience.
Terry Moran, by choice, President Trump is not standing there right now.
It is a choice that he didn't want to be part of this. It was a mistake for him in the eyes of history. He'd be a bigger man if he'd been on that platform, doing what all of his predecessors did. The Constitution put him in the Oval Office. He's disgraced himself in it on this day and on other days. But we've talked about the divisions. Arlington Cemetery itself, a place of healing. It was Robert E. Lee's plantation. Slaves worked those slopes. The Quartermaster General of the Union had lost his son and said, "I'll turn Bobby Lee's front yard into a graveyard." And now it is our hallowed ground where people of all backgrounds, our heroes, are laid to rest. The nation does heal.
And Doug Emhoff and Dr. Jill Biden have just arrived. Right now, soon we'll be seeing the president and the vice president to come and lay that wreath. Chris?
One other point. You made a point this morning, very early on in our coverage, about watching President Trump fly away on Marine One, and that it reminded you of Richard Nixon. And I've thought about what you said that day. This is the distinction I would make, which is not going to be a good one for President Trump. When Richard Nixon got on that helicopter, having been disgraced to be the only person to ever resign, he left to give space to Gerald Ford for that swearing-in ceremony, to not have him standing there. When Donald Trump left today, that was not the reason why.
It was for himself. You're exactly right. President Biden there at Arlington Cemetery.
Present arms! Order! Arms!
President, Madam Vice President, please come back to the spot.
Present! Arms! Order! Arms!
President, I would ask you to please come back, please. Madam Vice President, please come back. All the way up the steps to the president, please.
President of the United States, Joe Biden, several of his predecessors as well, Presidents Obama, Clinton, and Bush, all paying their respects to the Tomb of the Unknown at Arlington Cemetery on this day of his inauguration. Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.